Hey folks, Rich here, South Florida Beekeeping with Rich. So like I said a couple of weeks ago, need to come out and check and see, make sure that the queen was below the excluder, not above the excluder here, but couldn't do that for a couple of weeks. Last weekend we were out of town. Weekend before that we were building, rebuilding the apiaries for Broward County Park System, putting in more windows. That was a terrific time for a bunch of us that went out and did that because Broward County had no idea how to do it because it was working in among the bees. But we're just here to do one thing. Remember, when hard thing for a newbie particularly to understand is that you go in and you look at what you needed to look at. So this is going to be a really quick video because all I really have to do is look in this box. If there's cat brood in this box, then we've done an oopsie, and I need to take that queen excluder out. Okay? But the thing is, it was part of the brood nest, but there was no brood in it. They were just backfilling it with honey real well. And so I'm hoping, I'm believing that since it was so backfilled with honey and nectar, that the queen really had no business being up there. So we're just going to find out. You're being very nice, so I really didn't need to do that. It's your opinion of the matter. Let's find out.
Ooh, be careful. That one looks really tight.
That's just a lot of problems.
It's honey.
Yep, it's all just still honey.
It's capped honey.
Uh-huh. Yep. Okay. Here's something amusing. I normally put this frame holder back over there. I forgot to do it. A spider came along and made a spider web in here, and it was like, oh, location, location, location. There was like 3 or 4 bees all webbed up inside that spider web that was there this morning.
Uh-huh.
So
Good eating for him
yeah,
or her.
my
I think it's a
bad,
her.
but I can't help but get the visual from the spider web at the bottom of the slide, where one spider saying to the other, "If we pull this off, we'll eat like kings."
That sounds like a Larson cartoon.
It was a Larson cartoon, yes.
Nectar on this side.
Yep. All right. Good deal. As I expected, because they were socking away nectar everywhere up here. I didn't think the queen was in this box.
So you can tell just by looking at 2 frames? Can you really just tell by looking at 2 frames? And if so, what is the logic behind that?
Well, I didn't think it was real likely she was here in the first place. And normally they're going to make, if they're going to lay brood, they're going to do it to the middle to start with. I am also going to look inside that other box because there was still open comb in that box, and it's perfectly possible. But see here, here we have open comb,
Right.
and there's nothing being laid in it.
Nope, just honey and nectar.
Yeah, there's a little bit of nectar in the bottom of some of them, but there is some dry comb there. And if she was up here, she'd be laying in that.
Okay. So that is the logic. You can actually see it from just pulling out a few frames. You don't have to pull them all.
Yeah.
Now, I know the bees don't really care for it when you rearrange the brood chamber. Do they care if you rearrange the honey
Not
super?
really.
Okay. So that's also good to know.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a basic management thing as well. If they're drawing on the middle frames, and they're not drawing on the edge frames, then you take the edge frames and you put them in the middle. But
Makes sense.
just to be sure, I'm going to take a quick look in here. Because there was empty comb. Oh.
Oh, there's a lot more bees in the top box here than I kind of expected.
Yeah, I'm just looking for small hive beetles. Not finding any. Happiness. So I have the kind of coverage you'd expect from honey working going on over this way,
Huh?
but we have a lot more bees, the kind of working you might expect to see for brood working might be going on over here. So let's take a quick look. Doesn't mean that you might not have a whole lot more bees honey too over here, but there is rather a concentration. So let's just make sure the queen.
Nectar.
Yep,
All nectar
all
on this
nectar.
side.
They're
Yep.
just all packing nectar.
Yep.
And some old bullets from some drones.
And they can get out because you left them a little door.
Yep. If any of them
in the
hatch
front.
out, they can leave.
Cool. So since they're putting nectar away in both boxes, are you going to leave them both supers?
Yes. Because they're actively working them. I see a small hive beetle, but it's over here on a frame that is nothing but undrawn foundation. Touch him. Oh, you see.
Yep.
See, they've driven all the small hive beetles
to this frame
over here to this frame.
Can you get them all?
Well, I might be able to get a whole lot of them over here. You might want to see this. So, soapy water. Bees will mostly bounce. If a bee happens to land in there, well, she's probably doomed.
Unless you take her out. There's another bee in there. You see her? So if you have a bucket of soapy water, you just dump the hive beetles in there and they will drown, right?
Yes, I always keep a bucket of soapy water covered. Keep things out of it.
Cool idea.
And I use it to tap small hive beetles into if I find them. Yeah. Only one on the wall. They really did have them all just kind of
corralled at this end. Yeah.
Excellent. Good girls. Good girls.
And since this isn't a brood chamber, even though we have the arrows going every which way, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Except to my wife, who's going crazy right now because the arrows are going different directions.
No, it's not the brood chamber, so that's the only reason we put the arrows on there, because the bees really don't like it when you flip the frames around on the brood.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't look good.
Well, what happened here is these. Okay, so drawbacks on rapid feeders. This rapid feeder has the inner cover in place.
Right.
But they can push their way through there, but they can't get back through.
Oh, so they can get out, but they can't get back in?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
So my bad. When you're using rapid feeders, if you're going to leave the rapid feeder in the hive,
leave the cover
Set
off.
that over there and put that back on there.
So don't put the inside cover on.
Yeah. Now, what that will occasionally, and this is diagnostic as well, if you leave it in this configuration and they start building wax up into here, then you've missed the mark and you need to put another super on. Because if they're that desperate that they're going to come up in here and start building comb,
Uh-huh.
then they needed to have another super.
Hey, I have an idea.
What's that?
So if you have a larger shim, you could actually put holes in it, stick mason jars in those holes, and have the bees build comb up in the mason jars and be able to sell comb honey that way.
Yes, dear, but at that point it's not a shim. It's
Right,
you're
you'd have a
building
whole
you're actually
box.
building a platform piece that's meant for it, and then you drop a box around it. Not
Yep.
a,
Do
not a
they
shim.
sell those?
Yes, they do.
Ah. Well, figures if I can come up with an idea, somebody else already thought of it.
They thought of that idea back in the 1800s.
That figures. That figures.
And it's coming back into popularity. There are a lot of people now who are cutting like 6 circles in the top of a piece, a flat piece of plywood, putting a little bit of comb at the top of the jar. You know, they melt a little bit of wax and stick a little piece of comb in there, and then they fit them all on there. They put a box around it, and the bees come up and start drawing comb up in there.
Cool.
And then all they have to do is, when they harvest their honey, they take that out, they pour the more honey around it, and woo, you can get all kinds of money for that. But more work than I want to do. So at any rate, okay, that just was a quick thing in case anybody was wondering whether or not I had accidentally put the queen up in there. Nope.
Actually, you were wondering.
Well, I was, of course, wondering about
Yeah.
it. And I imagine other people were too. But there you go. Queen wasn't above the queen excluder in this one. Everything's looking good. They're putting away more honey. To follow through a little further, since we've been in town a little bit more, yeah, for some reason, there is a second blooming on a lot of trees. The copper pods, which otherwise called the yellow poinciana, which is a good beech tree, whereas regular poincianas aren't a beech tree at all, but the copper pod is in a second bloom, which it shouldn't be, but
Well,
it is.
and you know, when we were in the northern areas and northwest areas of the U.S. this summer, a lot of people were telling us that they were getting extra blooms and extra things on their trees. So it was an indication that there was going to be a harsher winter this year. That's what the northern people were telling me.
Well, yeah.
So does that maybe mean the same thing down here, since we're also getting a second bloom, which is unusual?
I rather doubt it. I've never seen such a correlation. But then again, the last time we had a freeze down this far was 1979. So
yeah, I was gonna say
it's been a little before I started keeping bees.
Been a little more than
50,
50 years, I think. So,
yeah.
But anyway, so one other observation I wanted to make is you see you have 3 hives, well 4 actually, because you got the Poppleton hive over there, and the hives are not in the same state. So while hive number 1 seems to be finding a tremendous amount of resources, hive number 2 had no resources, hive number 3 had a few, the Poppleton hive seemed to be doing just fine. So hive 1 and the Poppleton hive have found resources that the other 2 have not. So if you think bees share information between hives, you would be wrong. They are in competition with each other.
Yeah. And apparently some hives, their genetics are more attuned to the scouts going further out to look for resources, because obviously they're not. At any rate, it's just a short video. I wanted to see what was going on there. This is Rich. This is South Florida Beekeeping with Rich. Be sure to like and subscribe. It helps out a lot. We're over 3,000 people now, which I never expected. I was hoping for 300 when I started this. See you later.